run, and this time we got a lot more space. In the last video, we hit 135 mile an hour, but we only had 280 metres of runway. This here is currently the world's fastest RC car at 202 mile an hour, but he had round about half a mile of runway. And in this video, we've got half a mile of runway too, and we've also got 3 times the amount of horsepower. This car has round about 12 horsepower. We have about 3 times that, about 36 horsepower. This dude's strategy has been years of testing and development. My strategy is more power! And hopefully that is going to give us the world record. And if not, it's probably going to be an epic failure. And you guys can come along on the journey to watch me, a complete novice, haven't got a clue what I'm doing, see if I can win the world record with just more power. But anyway, in the last video, in that short little bit of runway that we had, this car ran absolutely perfectly straight. It was so stable and it accelerated so fast, and to get so much speed in such a small amount of space was actually quite amazing. So I don't want to change too much on this setup. I just want to go over it all, make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight. I want to shave a little bit of this carbon fibre off the rear wing off because I think the tyre was actually rubbing on it. I've got a brand new set of upgraded scorched parts heavy duty diff lockers. It's got some scorched diff lockers in there already, but these ones are the new revised versions that are a lot stronger. Suspension wise, it was slightly rubbing a little bit on the runway, so I've just turned these springs down a little bit, also a little bit on the rear just to keep it balanced, so hopefully this isn't going to bottom out and rub on the floor. But I don't really want to change too much because it ran so well, and if I start messing about with it I might make it worse. And we've also got some different tyres to have a little bit of a play with, so let's do a little bit of wrenching, less waffling, and then we're going to go back up to the runway and see how fast we can get it to go. You don't want to be breathing this stuff in, guys. So here I'm just sanding off some of the carbon fibre. So that's given us a little bit more clearance there. We've still got a bit of the plastic in the way though, so I think we're best off trim a little bit of that off too. Normally on these cars, the rear wheels, they face in slightly, which is good for going around bends, but not really very good on the straight line with foam, so I made the back wheel straight. But by doing that, it got it closer to all this lot here. And next, we need to take the rear end apart so we can get to the rear differential. So here we've got the new diff locker, and if we have a little look, we can see that this one's got 2 grub screws holding it on, and this one's only got 1, and this used to come a little bit loose. Also, the newer one's got stronger drive cups. But guys, check out the quality of that machining. I'm going to put a link down below where you can get these from, and also all the other parts on this build. For speed runs, locked up diffs make the car so much more stable. So here I'm using some green stud lock just to make sure that nothing comes loose. And with the amount of power that we're running, it's super important that we shim the diffs for maximum durability. Check it out, guys. That looks amazing. Now, I probably did go a little bit overkill with a Loctite, but I do not want this coming loose, and if you apply heat, you're going to get it off anyway. But this stud lock stuff, I think that's about as strong as you can get. And if you look at the front, it's actually come loose. Hopefully, these new designs will stay tight for longer. So now with the differential installed, we can go ahead and put it all back together. Look at that, we've got much more clearance here now. You've got to remember, guys, when we get a lot of speed up on these tyres, they can expand a little bit, and if it starts hitting this, it could blow them out. So we've got the new differential in there, look. We've still got to do the front one. We're going to do that one off camera, exactly the same as doing the rear. So next, we're going to prepare a brand new set of tyres, and then we're going to take it out and let it rip. So first of all, we need to balance them, because unbalanced wheels and tyres mean less speed. So I've just been watching Mike Craddock's RC Masterclass, where he teaches us how to do it. I'm going to put a link to this down below. I don't have a tyre balancer, so I made my own. I have ordered one, but it hasn't come yet, so I've got to make do. So basically, we just want to make sure that it's perfectly balanced. If it's got a heavy spot, the heavy spot will go to the bottom, and then we've got to add pate to balance it. But this actually seems pretty good out of the packet. So these come a little bit too big for my car out of the packet, so next, we've got to make them smaller, and that also makes them perfectly round. And for that, we've got this tyre lathe. That'll do. So next, we'll chuck it back on the balancer, make sure that it's still balanced, and then we're good to go. And that looks about perfect. So now let's get the rest of them done, and then we'll go rip. Yes! We are on location, and check it out, guys. We got all the way from over there, all the way to over there. We got Andy and Andy's vantage point Guys, we're gonna get some speed. We're not really sure which way to go because this is actually quite a rough surface. This surface over here is smoother, but we've got joins. I don't know how that's gonna respond when you're going fast, but I guess we'll see in a minute. Got 12S LiPo on this side for that motor, another 12S on this side for that motor. 24 cells in total. Right, so how do we start this thing?
Good to go.
So here's the moment of truth, and I'm having range issues. And we hit a lump on the floor. What?
The wheel arch just come out.
Where?
No, the wheel arch just come out.
What? How did that come out? Did I hit a stone?
Probably.
Oh man, this is too rough, isn't it? It's a new belly now, might as well go for it anyway. So here we go for the second attempt. What happened? Oh no! So we hit the joint in the runway, air got under it, and game over. Oh no! You hit a little bump and it was just the belly's done.
Your wheel blows up.
Oh no, no!
Is that tyre gone?
What's your expert opinion, mate? What happened?
LiPo.
Oh, do you reckon that's what caused it? Oh, look at that! Still moves. Look what it's done to the LiPo. Well, stop.
Oh my!
Yeah, stop.
It
Breathe.
made the tire up again.
138. So it went faster than last time. So next, we attempt to get a thumbnail. He's laughing.
Crashes of the
Probably. Oh! We can probably go again, to be fair. Oh well, it could have been worse.
Could have been ours.
Ah. Oh dear. Game over. Back to the shop. We get it rebuilt. What's it going to look like? Game over, Martin said. Oh look, it's all slaughtered there. Yeah, these are fine. That's the main bit. So, this was Dave's idea. Hardcore RC. There you go. Give yourself a shout out. There you go. Check them out on their YouTube. They set this up for me, which is a plain receiver to that, and that should give it how much range?
About 3,500 metres.
Yeah, and that was probably about 400, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And this cut out. This is supposed to do 600, and it cut out on 400.
Someone give him a hug. Give him a hug. Oh, group hug.
So we learned a valuable lesson that fast RC cars and uneven grounds don't mix. So I've just got it on my editor, and we can actually look at it frame by frame to see what happens. So here we go, we're going across a relatively smooth bit of runway, and here we can actually see the car is already squatting a little bit on the back, which is not really what we want. We want the rear to be higher than the front. The minute that the rear gets lower than the front, the air can get under it, it can flip up, and then, you know, you saw what happened. So anyway, we come up to a bump here, and as we get to there, you can see the whole suspension of the whole car compresses. And then off here is like a little step, and now we can see the whole car is actually in the air. So forward a few more frames, it's airborne, the rear end comes down, and now the front is higher, and that is the moment of no return. The air gets underneath and it's game over. Bomb, bomb, that's it. About 138 mile an hour at this point, completely game over. And now, as the car lifts up at this angle, the air gets under it, underneath the body shell, and folds the sides up. In a minute, guys, we're going to have a look at all the damage and detail. And then at this point here, the revs go through the roof, the foam tyres explode. Look, you see all the bits of foam everywhere. And then we go around to one backflip, two backflips, a roll, a corkscrew, God knows what else. Bang, there it lands on the floor, scrapes its way down the concrete, and comes to a rest. So let's see that again on the second camera angle. So here we can see the suspension compresses, it goes over the bump, and boom, we're gone. Air gets under it, gone. There we can see the body folded back again, look. So looking back at that footage, we can clearly see that the car hit the joint in the runway, hit the bump, it made it uneasy, it lifted the front up, and as soon as the air got under there, it was game over. And just check out the damage on it, guys. It's all tarmac, grazed it everywhere. It's actually shaved this wing down. It used to be bigger up here. I think it's still going to be good to go again, but I should really get a new one on there. Ground down the axles, ground down the ESC cable. Luckily, the most expensive components, these MGM ESCs, they're around about $1,000 each. There's 2 of them. They survived. The motor survived. Most of the car survived. It's not that bad, but it's a bit of a pain in the butt because all this sort of time-consuming, homemade stuff, that's what I've got to make again. You know, it's a lot easier. If you break parts, you can just buy it, put them back on. When you've made parts, custom-made parts, it always hurts a little bit more. Just trashed this little custom-made belly that I made. Ripped my inner arches off, even though I did this on the first run where it hit a bump in the road. Oh, more scrapage on here. We've got a steering link broken off. All things considered, it's not too bad. And we did learn a few things. I think definitely we got to find a smoother runway. Look at that. I think what happened there, guys, was when it wheelied, the revs went up. I wasn't quick enough to react because before I knew that what was happened, the thing was upside down. I think what happened was it went into a wheelie, the revs went through the roof, and it blew the foam off of the tyres. They've done it to this one here.